Game on! Welcome to another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 29-year-old from Houghton, Michigan, USA. His hockey journey has taken him to the USA, Hungary, Germany, and the chocolatey Manchester Storm. Came up as a puppy with the Houghton High hockey team and ran amok with over a goal a game and captained the squad. Earned his way to Michigan Tech through the NAHL, and in his senior season was the captain of Michigan Tech, and just last season was the assistant coach of Michigan Tech. But before that, started out his pro career in Macon of the Southern Pro Hockey League, and then spent 2 seasons in my old honey hole, Kalamazoo, but not with the reigning national champion Broncos, but with the East Coast Wings. Then in 23-24, got a lot of travel in, lacing up in Hungary and the Duisburg Füchse, which is the Foxes of Duisburg, Germany, and the chocolatey Manchester Storm of England. Welcome on, Raymond, Brice.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So excited to be on.
Yeah, I get into how we know each other. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well.
So when the research team got hot, you played for the Manchester Storm briefly in 23-24. Did it ever rain chocolate while you were there?
Yeah, we actually had a I got there in February, I believe, and we had an 11 game win streak when I was there. That was super cool. I think Critchy started that like on a different podcast with some fans.
No, it was with
Um,
me.
oh, it was with you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was, I think it was episode 226 because some episodes stick out to me. And I had got it going in Cardiff where I had played. And then I asked
Okay,
him, like, do you think we could get it going in Manchester? And then the next game, they beat Sheffield. He fought, he scored, they won. And then there was like a couple chocolate bars. And then it just snowballed from there. And then the boys got hot and kept winning. And then the chocolate got bigger and bigger.
yeah, it was crazy. Like so the chocolate be in the room or candy in the room, like 4 days after the game because there was so much.
They're
I
still
remember
doing
fans
it,
like,
man.
yeah, that's still doing it. I remember fans like asking what my favorite candy was when I got there, and they would like write your name on the candy or whatever. And
So
yeah, it's pretty
that's how
cool.
we got it going. Was I had Ginner and Finner on separately, and I liked them. And then I had Critch on, and we got that going. And
Yeah,
then I would have like a lot of Manchester players on, and then ask what their favorite chocolate bar was. And then the next game, they'd be getting them with their names on them. And
yeah,
I got
absolutely.
so into it. I think it would have been the year you were there. I was Critch's sponsor. My logo was on the back of his jersey.
Oh no way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It was hilarious, especially when Cardiff found out.
Yeah,
I was just having fun, I'm still a
yeah,
devil.
absolutely.
So what is your favorite chocolate bar? They got some
Actually, I
different
don't like.
ones over there, don't they?
No, listen to this, a little crazy. I don't like chocolate.
Oh dear. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
so
why you
I'm.
only lasted 16 games with the Storm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to buy into the chocolate, eh?
yeah. I I like a Starburst,
Mm,
Sour Patch Kids.
candy.
I do like Snickers and peanut M&Ms, like stuff with like a little bit of like chocolate in it. But yeah, I'm not like a huge chocolate guy.
I'm
Um,
actually not that big of a chocolate guy either, which is strange to think of how much chocolate I've had thrown on the ice around the world. Yeah, some of the history though that you wouldn't know about was we started in Manchester. Before that, the Cardiff Devils were throwing Twix on the ice for their goalie after every win,
okay,
and
yeah,
that had started in Hungary from my college roommate. Then I had him on when he came to Cardiff, and they started doing it there. But then he switched to Denmark for a season or two, and they got right into the Twix. I had them on, and they threw. I forget how many thousands of Twix it was, but they have a YouTube out there of like, look how many Twix we threw on the ice. This is the record, and the ice was covered in Twix. And then they were like interviewing his agent, and his agent to the fans were like, "Yeah, it started on 2 ounces of the hockey tales." It's so funny.
that's unbelievable.
So that 23-24 season though, you were in three different countries: Hungary, the UK, and Germany, which I was in Germany for 6 years, so I know a lot about that. But what
Yeah,
what all went on there? You played 3 games in
yeah,
Hungary, you scored 2 goals, and then you're on a different team.
yeah, crazy. Played like 6 preseason games too, but um, it's kind of a crazy year. I've always like spent in one spot or whatever. And I went when I went to Hungary, like it was just not, like you go to Europe and I know like it's kind of organization based. Like
Yeah.
some leagues you get like good organizations, and some leagues, the organizations aren't great. And I feel like in the Hungarian league, you have really good organizations, and then you have organizations that just stuff's gets run kind of poorly, right? So I went there, and like you guys would get a car. I ended up living with another guy that actually played college against Nick Rivera, unreal dude. And we were the only two North American guys, and there was like two other guys on the team that spoke English. We had a coach that was like born in Ukraine, but he was Russian. His English wasn't great, and yeah, we just didn't really see eye to eye. Just
Yeah.
kind of a different experience. I wasn't kind of culture shock. We were literally in the middle of nowhere, like 3 hours from Ukraine, or yeah, like 3 hours from Budapest and like 80 something miles from the Ukrainian border. It was just like I remember my roommate texted me, I hadn't met him yet, and he's like, dude, I'm driving for 3 hours and I haven't seen a town. I thought he was like kind of bullshitting me. And like I get in the car, this guy picks me up. Um, First time in Europe, I have no idea what I'm doing. And this guy doesn't really speak any English. He like worked for one of the minor hockey teams in the town, and he's driving. I'm like looking over at the kilometer conversion. He's driving 160 kilometers an hour. This guy's going 100, smoking cigarettes in the car. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my God, where am I? Like, I got my gear in the back or whatever. We drive 3 hours, legit, no towns, straight from Budapest to Debrecen. Get there, meet my roommate, whatever. And, we had fun there for sure. It was just a different experience. Training camp, like, I'd done the college thing. I was like pride myself in working hard and working out and being in shape.
The
It was like
Russian background's different though, isn't it?
legit. Like we're
Yeah.
doing like boxing with the Hungarian national team, sprints every day. I'm like, I don't need to do this. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. I skate every day in the summer, like, and I there was no ice for the first 2 weeks I showed up, so it was just like a lot different than I thought. And
They
yeah,
do things
two
so
goals,
different in Europe when it comes to training camps and hockey. It's like
crazy.
they used to make me go to Germany July 1st, and there wouldn't be ice in the arena until like the start of August. So we would go there for a month and there'd be no ice time. And it's like, so how
Yeah,
do you guys train for hockey if you know skating and
hundred
we
percent.
just
So
run
like,
around the track and it's like, well, is this making us better hockey players just running 400 meters all day long?
yeah, and just wrecking my knees at 27 years old. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting older now. In athletics or whatever. Yeah, the coach didn't really like the way that I played. I had like 2 goals in 3 games. I think I was dash 5, some unlucky bounces and just like getting caught
And is
out there
that
and stuff like that.
team not the team's not that good, are they?
And we weren't very good, no. And they were like called my agent one day. They're like, they want to buy you out. And I like had called them. I was like, yeah, I'm not like super happy here, blah, blah, blah. And so
When you go
they
to Europe, if there's only like two North Americans on a team, it can be a long year because a lot of times, like whatever country you're in, the natives kind of stick together and have their routines. And the best teams I was on was when the imports and the natives like got along the best, but it doesn't always
yeah,
happen, especially when there's only a couple of you.
yeah. So I think you get 10 imports. We had like 6 Russian guys who actually spoke like less English than the Hungarian guys. I like the Hungarian guys. Some of them had decent English. We had another guy that was from Latvia that played D3 in the US. He had really good English. Super nice guy. And yeah, we just like me and the coach and see eye to eyes. Like they brought me in one day. They're like, we want to buy you out. And I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Like I
Yes.
wasn't really happy
Pay me
there.
some money and I'm out of here.
100%. I think they were kind of shocked by my reaction because I was like, perfect, works for me.
So then you got the
Um,
deal in Duisburg then in the
yeah, so I
Oberliga.
went to Zakopane, Poland. Unbelievable country and spot. Like I hiked in the mountains, and when I was there, I could have. I My roommate ended up going home the same day. We left the same day. He went home, hung him up, and I was like, I just want to, kind of test it out. And I could have went to Manch right away, and I wish I would have.
Hmm.
Because I ended up loving it there, like unbelievable spot. But I ended up going to Germany. We were really bad, like really bad.
Really?
Um, all the imports ended up leave. I was the only import left at the end, and I am going to match too. It just kind of like the team was super cheap. It just like didn't feel like pro, like
Yeah, in
wasn't giving
Germany,
us
you can be on a team that has money and it's awesome and it's so much fun. And then you can be on a team that doesn't have money and it's super not fun.
yeah, just brutal. Like I just wasn't happy there. Like I had a good apartment and a car, and but like I didn't really know anyone there. Yeah, it was just like super different than what I was used to. And I played in Kalamazoo. We were treated like pros and getting little like warm up gear and shit like that. And it just wasn't that. Like they said I couldn't use grip tape because it ruined their gloves. And I was like,
Really? That's different.
yeah,
There's some of the things that
crazy.
go on in Europe are wild though when they
Yeah.
tell people.
It's like, and there's no players union to like stand up. Like we're stopping at like a restaurant on the freeway, like for a pregame meal, and like watered down tomato sauce and pasta. It's just like, yeah, it's time to get a
Uh,
different job. Like
One of my funny stories is when it was in Bietigheim. We signed a guy that was like a first round pick to the show, played games, had made a comeback after head injuries or something. He comes for a tryout with our team, and the coach didn't want him or didn't take him because he used too short of a stick. Didn't like
yeah,
it.
it's just like some of the things. We lost to Tilburg when I was 13-2. I think I 13-3. I had a goal and an assist and was like -1. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know if this is for me. Like
Yeah.
the
So then
league
you
the
did
league
go to
wasn't bad. It was
Manchester though, eh? Like, because Germany
yeah,
is a cool spot to live though. I don't know what
yeah,
Duisburg's like, but
Duisburg is like Steel City,
oh,
like factories, pretty dark gray, northwest part. Yeah, and I just like told my agent, he's like, hey, Manchester reached out, like, I was like, I kind of want to like at this point I'd taken a job and I was like looking for jobs, working at an academy. So I kind of knew I was done and I didn't really want to go out like that. Um, so he's like, yeah, I can get you in Manchester and see what happens. Um, and I kind of went in and told the GM in Germany, I said, we're not going to make playoffs. Like I'll play this weekend. We're not going to make it. Like I'm leaving. I want to go and, like have some fun and see if I can enjoy it there. I ended up going to Match and I loved it. The guys were like super welcoming. Played for Ginner. I really liked Ginner. He was a great coach. Yeah, it was just a really good setup. Like the only thing that's not great about Match, and I'm sure other guys have said this, is just the facilities.
mm,
But like other than that, like I really liked the guys. It was a ton of fun. We were in a good spot. We were winning when I was there. Like I said, we went on that 11 game win streak. And I probably would have went back if I hadn't taken the job, but my mind was kind of made up that I was going to retire
yeah.
at that
Once you get
point. And
set up with a job, and then yeah.
yeah, it just felt like it was time. I was getting older. My body had some injuries and stuff, and I felt like it was time. But
Well, there was some
yeah,
great guys on that Manchester team because I was talking to everybody, and I was a sponsor of the team.
yeah,
But
no,
like Tyler Heinem, he's another
yeah,
dandy, and I saw him and Critch were the leading scorers that year, and like those are two guys I've had on multiple times, and they seem like absolute dandies.
yeah, they're super good guys. I really like both of them. Like again, all those guys were like so welcoming and just made me feel like a part of the team. I got there in February, like I said, and um, I freaking loved it. Like
Yeah,
it was super
if you
cool.
would have been into chocolate too, you would have really loved it, right?
Yeah, and the hockey was like pretty good. I remember we played Sheffield, who was like dominant that year. We beat them for the first time in 6 years in their building, but just like the
So that
crowd,
was
like
definitely
Belfast.
that was definitely the season I was his sponsor because Critch
Yeah,
put the empty netter in, and somebody sent me
took
the
that.
picture of my logo of Critch putting it in the empty net, and then you could see the cheerleaders behind the glass look so sad.
Yeah. When he like ripped that puck into the back of the net, and yeah, I remember him coming around the bottom of the circle after he scored that too. It's pretty pumped. That was awesome. And
It
the
is a
group was
fun
super
league though,
close.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's really fun, and the hockey was pretty good. Like, and it's continuing to get better.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There's some good players in that league that have played. I mean, we Joe Morrow on our team, 160 something NHL games.
right. Oh,
Is
there's
by
some
far the best
players.
hockey that I'd played over there. And like Sheffield was one of the better teams I've seen in pro, even like playing in the
Yeah, that year they
coast.
won it all the things, eh?
Yeah, they had the Grand Slam. They were pretty good.
Yeah.
But it and some really cool rinks, Nottingham, Sheffield, Belfast. Like those are
Well,
three.
you weren't there long enough, but like I was there for I guess part of Cardiff for 2 seasons, but they have testimonials where a guy plays 10 years on a team and then they get to have a game and all the money
Yeah,
raised goes to that guy. So Joey
yeah,
Martin and Cardiff just had me back to his. And man, they're the funnest things in hockey when you get 30 something guys come back to play a hockey game and half of them are retired now, half of them are still playing, but you get to see all the boys and it's the off season and everybody can just relax and have fun.
yeah, yeah. I remember we were supposed to have one for a guy when I played in match. But yeah, that's such a cool concept. They should do that in the
Oh,
US for some guys
but
too.
there's not many guys playing 10 years on a team in North America.
No, no, there's not. But
Joey Martin
yeah,
just
what
did it as an import.
it's crazy.
That is crazy.
I actually did see that, but that's super cool. I thought that was awesome that they do that and gives those guys some, probably a lot of those guys on their way out and retiring and stuff.
Yeah, a nice
Um,
chunk of change before
Nice
retirement.
chunk
But
of change.
it's like for a guy like me that it's all over with. I've got to go back to Cardiff now 4 times since retiring. So it's
That's
fun
awesome.
every time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, what an unbelievable concept. But
Oh, and yeah,
um,
and then you're so appreciative when your brother plays 10 years on the team. You're like, you're having
yeah,
me back? Okay, I'm in.
yeah, right.
Okay, so Michigan Tech. Do you want to know how we know each other from there?
Sure.
Chris Brooks recruited me to Western Michigan University back in the day.
Oh, Brooksy.
Brooksy was my assistant coach all 4 years and just ran into him at the Bronco Golf tournament last summer. And
Oh yeah,
and he had drove like 10 hours each way just
from
because
Clarkson.
Marco Latessiu was getting his jersey retired or whatever they do, Ring of Honor, and he had
Yep.
coached him. And so he drove 10 hours to see his speech and then 10 hours back. That's what Brooksy did.
Yeah, that's Brooksy though. Brooksy is an unbelievable guy.
Oh yeah, he
One of
is.
my favorite coaches. He's super good guy. Like a little bit quieter when he first like to get to know him for a little bit, but yeah, I really liked him. He was awesome. I still talk to him. I talked to him a couple times. Clarkson actually came and played us up at Tech this year. So talked to him a
Yeah,
little
because
bit
he's
there.
moved up to
Texted him.
Clarkson now, eh?
Yeah, now he's at St. Lawrence, I think.
Oh, really? He moved again?
Yeah,
Jeepers.
yeah. So I think that
I had him
yeah,
on
he
the
went to
pod when he
Clarkson.
was probably coaching you at Michigan Tech. And then I had him
Okay,
on when he was at Clarkson, I
yeah.
think.
So I think he's at St. Lawrence now.
So what are you up to
Correct me if
now?
I'm So I took a job at TPH, back at TPH, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It's the largest academy in the US. There's 23 locations. It stands for Total Package Hockey. I believe there's 16 sports now that they have like academies with. But hockey's like 92% of the athletes. And their motto is study, train, play. So it allows like these athletes. It's actually started
How
when
old are they?
6th to 12th grade.
Sixth
Um,
to 12th grade. So then they move away from their parents?
no, a lot of them, it's all commuter. Um, some of them will bill it. Like in Detroit, if you have like a kid that's out of state coming to play for Little Caesars, we'll sometimes get kids like that, where they're billets, but they're getting dropped off every morning. Excuse me. And yeah, they're only coming in. What they do is they come in, excuse me, do school for an hour in the morning. They'll come and do video with me, and then I'll skate them for 2 hours, and then they'll go to lunch, and then they'll do their academics in the afternoon, and then they'll practice with their teams at night. Um, and then it's crazy, but
That's a
you
lot
know
of
what?
hockey.
Like 100% it is. But the kids have the energy to do it, and we try and like taper it so that the kids like it's a lot of skill development stuff. Um, so that the kids like during the middle of the week we push the pace a little bit and like get them
Getting
moving.
closer to their games on the
Yeah,
weekends, you
but like
tone it
coming
back.
off the weekend, like it's a little bit lighter. If they're skating Friday, like it's their skill day. We get to, like they get to pick what they want to work on. It's a pretty cool concept, and it's been pretty successful in the U.S. And I actually worked in Philly before I took the tech job, is at the same role, and that was the job I was talking about that I took in Germany. But yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. That it's super enjoyable. You get the same kids all year. The kids also they work out. So when they're not on the ice and the other group's on, they're working out
Really?
with a trainer. Yeah. So
I
and
probably could have used that as a kid. Working out wasn't
yeah,
really a
I would have
thing till I
loved it.
got to university.
100%. I would have loved it because like it started because all these parents were like November was coming and they're like, we're out of absences in school. We can't pull our kid out of school anymore.
Yeah.
So it allows for that flexibility. The kids go on a virtual platform, depending on the location and state, and they just they do their school at their own pace, and it's we hold the kids pretty accountable. If they fall 5 assignments behind and they're not allowed on the ice, and the kids can come on the ice as they want. Like if a kid's really feeling down, he's tired, he's had a long weekend, he can take the option on the ice.
Okay.
Um, so
So
it's
that
pretty.
so how many kids would you have for the season that you're kind of
So
like their
there's six.
coach away from the real team?
Yep. So there's 60 kids, 55 to 60 in Detroit. Some locations have like 90 kids. And
So you're doing
and
this
they're
out
doing.
of Detroit. So then the Little Caesars and Honey Baked kids and all them would be doing
Yep.
this.
Yep. So they're and you get kids from every team. Not every, and there are some locations where they do a team model where the whole team goes to the academy and then they practice in the afternoon, which would like unbelievable if you're coaching that team and working at the academy.
Yeah.
Which a lot of guys do. They coach it like a AAA team or whatever, as a part of their
So do you
the
know
night.
Derek Rail?
I don't.
Okay, he's coaching like the older under 18 Little Caesars or something. Or under
Okay,
six. Yeah.
yeah, and like I said, those kids like you will have a couple kids from Caesars, couple kids from like Oakland Junior Grizzlies, Honey Baked, and you'll kind of get a mix of kids.
Huh.
But it's cool. Like they put out something called a TPH Impact Report, and it's like it shows all the academics like cumulatively as like a group, like all the kids across the country. Um, they're pretty adamant on testing, which is awesome too, because like all these testing, the kids like they use force plates and all this stuff, their strength, their vert jump, broad jump, and it all goes up, as a group throughout the year. And then we test them on the ice, like agility, doing like blue line to blue line, fastest skater and stuff like that. And the improvement that they see is pretty incredible. Anyone that has the opportunity, you can just type in TPH Impact Report, and it's pretty cool to read on the success that the academy's had.
Yeah, no, I've heard about these things and everybody's
Yeah.
doing it differently, but
Yep.
I'll just because I'm a minor hockey parent, what pops to my mind is, well, you're already paying for AAA or whatever, and then you got to pay for this on top of that. That man, it's an expensive sport.
Yeah. Oh, 100% it is. Yep. And then you got to kind of worry and monitor the kids on burnout and making sure that they're given as much as they do with us on the ice as they are with their teams at night.
Well, I'm been an under 13 boys coach the last 2 years, and we're
Okay.
back to back All Ontario champions. But
Unreal. Unreal.
yeah, didn't do an off ice workout last season. I didn't make
Yeah.
those under 13 boys do one thing off the ice.
Yeah.
We had a golf
Right.
tournament
Right.
though.
Probably a blast.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but yeah, you do have to learn about those things. It's like when I was coming up, working out was always like punishment, where
Yeah.
nowadays they like enjoy it and they like do it with a group of buddies and make it fun, and then it wouldn't suck
Yeah.
so
And
much.
everyone works out now.
Right, and you
Every,
have to.
yeah, 100%. Because if you
Yeah.
don't, you're behind.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a cool thing, but you were an NCAA assistant coach last season, so
Yep.
you're really getting some experience in this coaching thing, eh?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually, like I said, I took the job at TPH and um coach here. I played for him, Joe Sean. It actually moved. They moved on to a new coach at Michigan Tech now. He had called me and reached out. The previous third assistant, who I played with as well, had taken a job in banking. And I accepted the job and came up here in September. It was a lot of fun. It was hard work. Coaching's a grind. Like you're working 7 days a week. If you're, especially if you're on the road, you're getting home like sometimes Sunday in the morning, we're getting home at 6, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to cut video Sunday, like making sure you're ready to go Monday. And you're working, we'd be in at the office 8, 9 in the morning till 6:30 at night with practice and whatnot. Now certainly you have time off like the summer and that's your downtime, the off season. But in season, it was a grind. And I was like, I'm going to take a job in engineering. I'm just going to try look at something different, a little more relaxed, have a little bit more work-life balance. When I retired, I was kind of looking forward to doing like the college football stuff in the fall. I like to hunt a little bit.
Well,
I
just
want to get
having
into
your
hunting.
weekends free, right? Hockey's always
100%.
played on weekends.
Yeah, and I ended up so I took the job and I never really left the game. I loved working with the guys. Like it was unbelievable. They were always playing pranks on me and shit. And they made me I was the young guy, so they made me feel included. But
That'd be fun.
yeah, it was pretty cool. And just different perspective. Now you're not playing, you're behind the bench. It's much different. But um and I decided, I'm looking for more work-life balance. And I actually I work part-time as an engineer for a firm in Delaware. Um, and I was going to go full-time with him, and TPH called and kind of offered me the job in Detroit. My girlfriend lives down there, so I'm going to move down there with her. And I said, you know what, I'll give it another try.
Yeah.
Went in a couple times, checked it out, and I just kind of felt like
When it's also
it's
Monday to Friday, is that right?
yep, yep, Monday to Friday, no weekends, a little bit more laid back schedule. It's salary. I'm not, like it's not a team, so I'm just worried about player development, which I actually
That
like the
sounds like a
most.
good spot for you, and you get to
Yeah,
stay in
no,
the game.
100%. And some I
See
was
what you
like,
can make of those kids.
right, right. And it's just so rewarding working with kids, and that you coach,
Oh yeah.
minor hockey. That's the best part of the job is like smiles on the kids' faces, watching
Oh,
them getting
dude,
better.
watching them win it all and like they're all hugging each other, just like
Yeah,
we did in like pro when we won a championship. And they tried as hard as any team I've ever seen try in hockey. And then you see how
yeah,
much they put into it and how much they cared for each other. And then you see them all like become brothers for life, and you're like, oh my God, this is fun.
yeah. That's super fun to like. I I have like I own a small business up here, a hockey development business too, and I have
You're a
like
busy boy, eh?
225. Oh yeah, just never stop. But we have like 225 kids for the summer. But my favorite group is like the Mike group or the 2014-15 birth years. Like they're so fun. They're always asking like questions. We also do like we work with like older ladies too. They reach out to us and like their team going over to France. So that was super fun. Some of them are in their 60s, like teaching them how to break the puck out and like face off readiness. But that stuff was like awesome. You see it in the kids' eyes when they're like getting stuff out of it and getting better. Like I record a kid skating backwards for our first session, and like at the end, the kid's like flying backwards, doing backwards crossovers. Like you're like, this
Seeing
is
them
awesome.
love it and enjoy it, and when you can tell they're having fun playing hockey, that's when it's awesome. It's like
Yeah,
when my team would lay an egg and we would lose a game, and you'd see how upset they were and how mad they were, and I'm like, well, yeah, hockey's not fun when you don't play good, and when the other team tries
yeah,
harder than you, it's really not that fun.
right, right. But yeah, it is a rewarding job, and it's just like it's just you can't really compare to like the best part about the game is the people, right? Like you
Hmm.
still read. I'm sure you connect with old teammates all the time, and
Oh
you get
yeah,
calls. And
those
like,
friendships that you build are what it's all about.
yeah, or you run into a guy like I remember I was walking to the USHL showcase. I first like year pro, my captain like right in front of me is coaching with the Green Bay Gamblers, and you just like run into guys randomly,
Oh
running
yeah,
it like it's
yeah, you
super
get back
cool.
around the rinks, it's all the same
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. It's the same people doing the same shit that you were doing, like 10
So,
years ago. But
so here's a cutting edge question for you then, since I like coaching. What's your favorite drill in practice?
favorite drill? Well, as a player, like I skated with the college and pro guys this morning, just like for fun. We scrimmaged, but
Jeepers.
we are
Okay.
doing the Vegas flow drill.
What's
You
that
know
one?
that one?
No.
People call it like wakey wakey. Let's see what else I've heard. Where you have guys at all four blues, and then you like go up and you touch with pretty much three lines, and then like a guy comes under you on the third line and like gives it back to you, and you go down and shoot at the other end. Um,
I don't know it. You're talking it's like the Four Blues?
yeah, yeah, kind of like I'm sure you've seen it. You probably have a different name for it.
Probably. I have
Um,
some name from way back when. Yeah.
yeah, night warm up, Vegas night warm up drill.
Mm, okay. I don't know that one. Curious, but sounds like it's a flow drill with passing.
Yeah. Any 2-on-1 drill. I think those
Yeah.
are fun as a forward.
Yeah,
You
D
got a good
probably don't
scoring
like them.
opportunity. Yeah, yeah. D probably hate them, like you said. Um, yeah, like when I'm coaching though, I like 70% of the game is played within 3 to 4 feet of the wall. So I make sure like any guys I'm working with are just like picking up pucks off the wall and like that's an innate skill if you have,
Oh yeah,
like if you have the
especially
ability to do
wingers too. Like how many times you got to take it off the wall, even a dump in
right.
the other end on the forecheck or in the D zone. It's a lot.
Yeah, and just like making yeah. So I do a lot of like that. Yeah, anything like I try to like game situation and I want our kids to like make reads all the time. So I try to like add those into drills because anytime that you can make them think,
Hmm.
and something that I do a lot, I make the kids explain the drill. So I like have a station and they'll go through, I'll coach the station, but then when the next station comes down, I'll have that like I'll have them like
Ex
coach the next group.
Oh, that makes
And like,
sense.
hey, you guys have to explain the drill here, like be leaders. So like I like to make the kids think. Sometimes I'll just like say, like, this is the drill, I'm drawing it. You guys have to figure it out because I want you to communicate and stuff like that. So I do a lot of that stuff because it makes them think and like makes them
What I do to make them think is I don't ever like yell instructions from the bench unless it's like for a face off. Once the game's being played, I don't say anything because they need to get their head up and figure out what the right play is.
right, right. Especially at that age, right?
Yeah,
Um,
just
you
1 second. Game back on. Anyways, yeah, the coaching thing really bit me, especially winning the last 2 years with my son and
yeah, that's
all
awesome.
these kids from the small town. So the first year we have 2 years together. So the first year it was my son and two other kids that were first years. The rest were a year older than him. So now they're brothers for life with all those guys. And then this past season, most of them were his age. And then there was about a handful of first years again that were the year below. So now in this tiny little town, my son's got all these brothers for life of three different
Yeah,
age groups. It's awesome.
that's unbelievable. Yeah, it's so cool.
So anywho, how did you end up going to Michigan Tech? Because that's the one that's way up in the UP, right?
Yep. So it's actually my hometown. Um,
Houghton,
I
Michigan is
was,
where Michigan Tech is.
yep,
Ah,
yep.
learn something new
So
every
like
day.
that's I kind of always wanted to play there. Like when I was younger, they were really bad. They played in the old WCHA, which is like Minnesota, St. Cloud, Denver, CC.
I
And they had some
remember I was
bad
in the
years.
CCHA. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Um, and like they weren't very good. And but as I got older, like there was a coaching change in 2011. I think Mel Pearson came in, kind of really turned the program around, did a really good job, upgraded a lot of things. Made the student athlete experience a lot better and um, put really Michigan Tech back on the map. And that was when I was in high school, and I really wanted like that's when I was like I really really want to play here. Went to juniors, played in Sault Ste. Marie, talked to a couple of schools like right away in junior, and they faded out like as the season got like a little bit longer. It was my first year. I don't think I was like super consistent. In my second year in the North American League, the team got sold to New Jersey actually. And I moved out there and played and like had a really good start. Like as my age out year, and I was talking to some schools, and I remember Michigan Tech called, and I was actually about to get traded to the USHL to Des Moines, and kind of called Michigan Tech and said like, hey, like, I have this opportunity to go play in the USHL. What are your thoughts? And they said, well, no matter what you do, you can come and play here. We have a spot for you. I
Oh,
said,
that's
well,
nice.
yeah, I'd like to commit. And it was kind of like a preferred walk on. Like they didn't have any money, but I didn't care. Like I could probably stayed and played a little bit like longer into the year in junior and waited my options out. But I really wanted to go to Tech and
So you
yeah,
went from a
just
walk-on hometown boy to then becoming the captain of the team.
yeah,
That
yeah,
must have been a big day, huh?
yeah. It's pretty cool. Super honored. Like historic program. Tried to pride myself on working hard and bring it every day. Like I was always a third or fourth line guy at school. Like my most improvement in my career didn't come until pro. Um, like I had an okay foundation. I always, like I said, I worked hard and tried to do the right things. And, as fortunate enough to be named captain. It was a huge honor and pretty cool for me. And but yeah, like I said, it was a ton of fun, and the student athlete experience at Michigan Tech is incredible.
Yeah, I never played against them in my 4 years at Western Michigan,
Yeah.
but we would go up to the UP to play Northern Michigan.
Oh yeah.
So that
Yeah.
can't be that
That's
far away, right? Because that was a hike
no
getting up there.
100 miles from it's like 99 miles from Houghton to Marquette exactly. They're now in the same conference, so that was our big rival.
Right. That makes more sense to be
Still,
in the same conference when you're
yeah,
that close.
100%.
Yeah.
Huge rivalry, and Michigan Tech has dominated the rivalry lately. I think when I came into school, they were like Michigan Tech was 15 games behind, and now Michigan Tech's ahead. Um,
Well, did you hear the Western Michigan Broncos are national champions?
yeah, and I actually met Pat Ferschweiler. Right, seemed like a really nice guy and incredible dude. I was happy for him.
Oh yeah, he's been
This,
doing it all right. Like
yep,
he's trying to make pros. He is making pros. You see what these guys are doing after they're with him and his coaching, and then you see what he's doing as far as winning and losing games. Yeah, they say it's a great day to be a Bronco, but like it really is nowadays. Because
yeah,
guys are going places, they're winning, and now they're national champions. It's wild stuff. And our
yeah,
alumni golf tournament is this weekend, and I can't go. I had to give up my spot.
brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. But I was there last year for the first time in 18 years and met
Pro,
Fersh and talked about the whole thing and how we needed to bring back all my era guys because a lot of them had hurt feeling reports after from different, the way it all went, and we didn't win as many games as we had hoped.
yeah,
And now to see the program be what it always should have been or could have been is really neat to see.
yeah. When I played in Kalamazoo, they were, it's been on the up and up, and it's good. Yeah, I was happy for it. I was definitely pulling for them in the national championship. So,
I think most
um,
people were that if their team wasn't in it, the Broncos had a big following because everybody loves an underdog, right?
yeah, 100%. Like not like razzle dazzle. The
and
rink's not like
and the
an
same
NHL
old
rink.
teams in the finals all the time, the big
Yep,
schools, and it's
yeah,
nice to have some fresh blood in it.
100%. Yeah, that was awesome, and I'm happy for him. So,
I believe Brice Reddick was a Michigan Tech guy too, but he would
yeah,
have been
I
before
know
your
him
time. Do you?
a little before my time, but I played him in the EI, and then he was actually coaching this year the Wisconsin Wendigo in the North American League, which is like an hour and a half from here. I'm actually headed that way today.
Oh, really?
Um,
Yeah, he's a
going to play some
regular
golf.
guest.
Yeah. Okay.
He was just
Yeah.
back in
Super nice
Cardiff
guy.
when we went back for that weekend. So
Oh, he was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had a good time.
Um, yep. I've ran into him a couple of times. So, yeah,
Yeah,
seems like a
it's
super nice
amazing how many
guy.
hockey guys are getting into the coaching thing, but
Right.
yeah, Reds would be a good one.
Yep. Yep. For sure.
Do you have any questions for me while I try and figure out what to ask you next?
No, I don't.
Come on, really?
How'd
Oh,
you get this started?
I was in the middle of COVID. I was sent remote from work, and um, well, I missed all my friends. I live in the middle of nowhere where none of them are around, and
Yeah.
I thought of it one day because I had started out with podcasts listening to Spit and Chicklets, like a lot of hockey guys, and then I was kind
Yeah.
of sick of listening to how everybody had all these millions of dollars in their private jets, and I'm like, well, that's not the life I lived. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of guys have some pretty interesting stories that go over to Europe and don't make that much money, but love the game and have a lot of different experiences. And I thought, well, shit, this would give me a reason to get all my buddies' stories out there.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So once I
Um,
thought of it, I had one of my former teammates on the first episode, and I had a great time catching up with him. And then his story was out there, and then all of a sudden, all this fun stuff started happening. So I just kept doing it.
yeah. No, like I've seen your clips all the time. That's pretty cool. So,
It was pretty neat when I was a sponsor with Manchester that they were like
yeah.
sharing all my stuff too, and then the fans were buying it. Like someone sent me Critch's jersey signed from that year with my logo on it, and they sent me a whole package of Manchester Storm stuff, and even like a poster that said "Hockey Family" and all this, and it was pretty neat,
Yeah.
man.
Their fans there are like incredible. They were
They're
like,
passionate
there's not
people
a
in the UK.
yeah, not a ton in that like for that league because the arena's smaller and like I would go to people that we have hockey in Manchester. Like they had
Right.
no idea, you know. But the people that did, they still like reach out to me. I run that small business I talked about, like the hockey development. I sent a couple hats over there signed for people that bought them online, and so it's pretty cool. Like they're really passionate,
Oh yeah,
um,
it's
super
well,
supportive.
how I got into, I don't know, taking a shine to Manchester was when I played in Cardiff. We played in basically the same rink. They hadn't built that new one that Cardiff plays in now,
Yeah,
and they called it the Big Blue Tent. And we went on a heater that my first year there, won the Challenge Cup, and then lost the league by 2 points. And we were a small budget team, and they had finished ninth the season before. And then I just Manchester always reminded me of that team in Cardiff because it's in that same rink, and then you get like
yeah,
Crutch and Heinem running the show, and Ginner's a awesome dude behind the bench, and then Finner's
yeah,
a old school beauty too. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I really like these guys. I want to help out
yeah,
too.
yeah. They're super cool guys, and like I said, yeah, they're like unbelievably welcoming and whatnot.
Yeah. But it was pretty neat when so the director of marketing of farm marketing, Jake, I think he's like 14 now, but he really got the chocolate started for me in Manchester. And then the last two times I've gone to Cardiff, his family's come all the way from Manchester to watch my fat ass play in Cardiff.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, they'll like do anything. They love it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, and then like the jersey
Passionate,
raffles they have, and like how much people will
crazy.
pay for your jersey. It's like,
Yeah,
man, give your head a shake.
yeah, yeah. They're like, "You want
uh
to sign this?" I'm like, "I don't want to devalue it."
yeah, no, it's the hockey the hockey world in the UK is still growing. It's like you were there for a short
Yeah,
time, but like in Cardiff, when I went there, man, there was public skating. Everybody was pushing around penguins and blue skates, and there was not much hockey going on other than the Devils. And now I go back. I've been sent like 5 or 6 different Cardiff hockey teams jerseys since starting this. And there's so many men's leagues, there's so many beer leagues, there's kids playing, there's junior programs, and like hockey is a buzz in Cardiff, Wales, and Manchester's seems to be jumping on too because they sure jumped on the chocolate throwing.
yeah, yeah. No, it's growing. Like even when I was there, they were doing like the Manchester Storm Academy, where they had like the little guys come out, and we would go help out and with skates and stuff like that. But it's definitely growing. That was like talked about a lot, I think, with between us, like how much like the sport is growing over there.
Oh yeah, and Team Great Britain's like I know you were only there 16 games, but I was there in 2014-15, and they were in like the third division of the World Championships. Then I see my buddies win back-to-back golds, and then to see them win it again this year, and they're going back to the top group. Like, it's gonna get a
Yeah,
lot of kids to play hockey over there too, I hope.
right, right. And even like we had Connor Lee. I don't know if you know the name.
Yeah,
I
I do.
played with him. He was like 16 going to school. He must have been like these guys are F like telling us is like he said he went to like an all boys school or whatever, but we were always like, yeah, this guy's got to be going to school and like the stories that he must have been telling them was like criminal, like they would
16
call
years
them.
old playing pro hockey.
Yeah, I couldn't believe like what was going on. Um, we'd always chuckle about that, but he was a great kid. But as like a testament, I thought he was like a really good player and unbelievable work ethic and like a testament to the like development that they've put forth towards
Forth.
him in Manchester. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it is neat seeing the puppies grow up and
yeah.
do things. Yeah. And
Yeah.
you get to
100%.
watch that with your new gig here, or you're going
Yeah.
back to it. But
Yeah.
it'd be fun to see. It's like when I coach these kids, and then the next year they make AAA, and it's pretty neat to see the kids accomplish what they set out to do.
It's a pretty cool thing. And that's what TPH takes pride in too. Like the double A kids is like their goal is to make triple A, and a lot of them do. And then the top kids, their goal is to like make juniors. I know all three real junior captains last 2 years ago were all TPH alumni
Really,
for Team
yeah,
USA.
that's pretty cool. You must be doing
Yeah,
something right.
yeah, yeah. So that's cool. That's a little chip that they got. That stuff like that's pretty cool. I think when your brand like can say that kind of stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
There's some. some big names that have gone through TPH and done pretty well. So
Well, it sounds like you're all set up and you get your weekends off, you get to help kids out, you get to be part of the game, and
yeah,
it sounds like a good situation.
yeah, no, it should be a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to get back into it, and yeah, a little bit different than coaching. Like there's nothing better than winning.
Right. Getting to win or
It's
lose
like
the game. You don't really get to do that,
yeah,
eh?
but I don't get to do that. But still an opportunity to stay in the game. Like I'm not, like when you do player development for an organization, you're looking forward to like watching your teams win.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily get to do that, which is like kind of sucks in a sense, but it's also going to be pretty fun to work with those kids still every day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I
And
get what you mean though, but you'll
yeah,
be more focused on everyone as an individual instead of
right. Yeah,
yeah,
like no bias, right?
yeah.
No bias in kids and whatnot. So
Well, yeah, no, it's been great getting to know you. And my question would be then, because I got hurt and couldn't play anymore, they wouldn't let me. When you decided to retire and you had enjoyed it in Manchester so much, you probably were starting to have fun playing hockey again. Um, how hard was it that first year out when you knew you could still play?
yeah, I think I like it's probably been 14 months. I remember that last game I was really upset. Like it was really hard. Like as a player, like you like
Well, you play
your
so
mood
many
is
games that you always think there's going to be another one. And then when you
right.
realize there is no more, it's
And your mood is like dependent on how you practiced or like how you played. Like it is literally like your heartbeat, right? And so
yeah,
it's like hard. You have to find something that like I really struggled to like find what like
drives you.
you're always you have to find like a purpose and what drives you and like you're so competitive and you want to win every night and you're always like working towards getting better. Like that's what I love about the game. And it was hard. Like it was cool to stay in the game and coaching, and the guys made me feel like a part of the group. And they're like I said, they're always throwing like pranks on me and shit. But you don't like hear the same stories that those guys hear every day. Like I miss the guys, and I
Yeah.
also miss like you get a fun workout. It's like even when I was working, I worked out all the time when I was playing. It was like way easier. Now I'm like, for what? Like you know what I mean? Like,
Well, nobody's paid me to work out in a decade, so I gave it
yeah,
up.
right, right.
Yeah.
Or like, so that's been the hardest part. Like, and you just miss like after practice, being just marinating there, knowing you don't have anything the rest of the day. Like the pro lifestyle is so fun, and it's just like so like you're done by noon.
Yeah. Yeah.
On
And you can
practice
go
days.
for lunch with the boys and then
Yeah,
who knows what, maybe take a nap.
yeah, right. I had a pretty solid routine. We had like a good lunch group in Kalamazoo. We always go to like all you can eat sushi. And we'd be there for like 2 hours and then I'd go nap for like 2 hours, fire up my Xbox, play some golf maybe if it was nice out, in the
See, maybe
spring.
this is why I should write down notes because the last few I've done, I didn't write down any notes, but because we hadn't met, I did today. And your small world one for your Kalamazoo time was your head coach the second year, Joel Martin, was my hotel roommate in the AHL
No way.
in Syracuse, New York. Yeah, we played a lot of FIFA together, I believe,
Oh
back
yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Unreal. Yeah. Marty's a good guy. I really liked him and um, he works really hard and
He was a great
uh
guy. And
yeah,
when he
so
got that
nice.
head coaching job, I remember reaching out to him and he was going to come on the pod. And then I totally got sidetracked and never did it.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
that name's fresh in my head again.
You gotta have him show that if he comes on that you gotta run the clip of him slashing the shovel guy.
Oh,
He
the
showed us one
shovel
day.
guy, really?
Yeah, he was like doing his stretching routine,
And the guy
and
tried to wipe up the snow by him, and
yeah, and he like
goalies
wasn't
don't like
moving. He was
that.
in goalie mood. Yeah, and he like I don't know, I don't remember exactly. He didn't slash the guy like actually, but he like gave him like a made him flinch and like snapped on the guy. I don't remember. You have to show the clip though when you get him on. It'd be pretty funny.
Well, he was actually one of the guys, like, I didn't really get how pro worked being a small town boy and then just going playing 4 years at Western Michigan. I didn't really get how pro worked until I got into it, but he's actually one of the guys that showed me what it's actually like. Was he got called up from the coast and came to the AHL, and put him in a game in Hamilton, I believe it was, and we won or lost like 1-0. And the guy stood on his head and made like 45 saves. And I'm like, I've never seen a goalie play this good in a long time. And after that game, he got sent down to the coast, and I'm like, oh, so it actually doesn't matter how you play.
Yeah,
You're already pegged in here.
yeah, yeah. That stuff in pro is tough. Like your draft picks are playing, and sometimes it's like you have to get lucky and fortunate that somebody likes you, or
Oh yes, or a coach that sees something in you that plays you, even if the organization's telling them not to.
yeah, yeah. There's so many factors, like especially in the U.S. Like you
That's
don't
what
see
I
that in
liked
Europe,
about
right?
Europe was just being on a team again.
Yep, you play like your guys aren't. You'd have a new guy in the room in the coast like every week. You're like,
Oh yeah,
is this
and
guy
then
gonna take
then
my
when
job?
college would be over, it'd be a whole bunch of new guys trying to take your
Yeah,
job.
right, right. But so you always felt like you're walking on eggshells. I don't miss that part, but um, it also kept you like in
Engaged.
gear,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
engaged. Every day you had to be great.
Oh yeah. So I obviously spent my time in Kalamazoo at Western Michigan. Probably different being a pro hockey player on the other side of town.
Yep, yep. It was super fun though. I My time in Kalamazoo was unbelievable. Like I really liked it. My second year, I lived with Justin Murray, who was our captain. Um, and we asked to live together. Like he was a we had so much fun, and he's like unbelievable dude. Yeah, played with some great guys there. Like it was so fun, and just like the lifestyle, and
Kalamazoo's a
like
fun town.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
Um,
I know all about
I don't know,
it.
the old goat, was that around when you were in
No,
school?
actually, I've heard about it since doing the podcast. But
Yeah.
when I went there at the start of my time, we had the tap room, and it was the most college hockey bar you could ever imagine.
Okay.
You got to skip the line no matter how long it was, and then once you got in, you'd give them your card for the night, and it would be a flat fee of $5, whatever you did.
That's that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was
You just
fun.
don't see that anymore.
No, you don't. No, no, you don't see anything like the tap room anymore.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Well, I don't think I have anything else, but it's been good getting to know you. And I should give a
Yeah.
shout out to my actual Western Michigan line mate, Paul Shahura. He is actually going in the Ring of Honor this weekend. So I'm not just missing the golf tournament because they're national champions. My line mate's also getting inducted into the Ring of Honor. So sorry I can't be there, Chewy, but
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
Um,
tough.
yeah, you can't do everything, right?
Right. All
But
right.
thanks for making the time for me, and keep on raising those puppies and having fun.
Yeah, we'll do. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh yeah, it's been a great time. And this has been another episode of Zero Ales and Hockey Tales with Brice and Wally.